feeling really great today, which is such an exciting thing to be able to share. I just feel energized, I feel in a good mood, and also yesterday they injected the antibiotics directly into my joint in my knee, and the swelling went down by the hour yesterday evening, and today I'm able to walk for the first time in 7 days without canes, which is super, super cool. It just goes to show that this treatment's working. And I know that I share a lot about like the medical stuff and what I'm going through. I do my best to share when things are going great, and when things are not going the way I want them to, I do my best to share the real process and what I'm really feeling and going through. I try to be I'm always as authentic as I can be. If it's hard, it's hard. If things are going well, things are going well. If, I'm doing something exciting and I'm in an adventure, I share that too. So I always try my best to be as authentic as possible, but no matter what my efforts are to share my story in the way that I intended to, it will always be perceived differently depending who is watching my story. And there's really nothing I can do about that. There's nothing I can do about how people might judge me or interpret what I'm going through. And I have experienced a lot of people making assumptions about what I'm going through, or making assumptions about who I am or why I'm sharing this. So, why do I share my personal journey and my story? Like, it's private. Why would I share it? Well, one reason right now is because I'm running a campaign, and when you're asking the public for support, you need to tell them why. And people who are supporting me through this campaign, they want the update. They want to know, is it working? Where's the money being allocated? How are things progressing? And so one of the main reasons why I post my updates here is to keep my audience in the know about what's going on with my campaign, because I'm asking for help. But besides that, why have I been sharing my health journey, my personal story, for the last 4 years? And I started sharing it through Period, but now I'm sharing the medical stuff, I'm sharing the GoFundMe stuff, and really it's a practice in vulnerability. And there's something magical that happens when you talk out loud and when you share your story, especially when you do it on camera, on video, and then you get to watch yourself later. Something really big happens there. What I've noticed from all of my sharing over the years is I was able to identify certain patterns of mine that I was living out, certain archetypes, certain things that I loved, and certain things I wanted to release. And you don't normally get to see that stuff about yourself if you're not talking and sharing from your heart, and if you're not showing yourself on video. And so through this process, I've been able to actually grow significantly and heal a lot of things that needed to be healed, release a lot of things that need to be released. And so it's a very cathartic process to open up vulnerably and share. And then I always go back and listen to my stories and watch myself speak. In fact, I used to hate to watch a video of me speaking, and honestly, I've totally neutralized that. Like, now when I see my videos, I don't have any kind of perfectionist qualities coming out of me. I'm totally fine with my hair being messy. I'm okay with making mistakes. I'm okay with not saying the perfect thing. And that in and of itself is also really healing, because that's healing the self. That's healing the inner critique, right? So this whole journey of sharing my stuff vulnerably has really been such a huge part of my personal development and such a huge part of my healing. The other reason why I share so vulnerably is because I know that my story can save somebody. I know that my story can inspire someone. I was misdiagnosed for 18 years, poisoned by pharmaceutical drugs for 18 years, suppressing an illness that I was told is incurable, but it is totally treatable. And the world needs to know that. And before I even knew about these treatments that were available to me, before I even knew what my diagnosis was, I began my journey of self-healing through nutrition, through movement, and through energy work. And just healing my gut alone and getting the right nutrition in consistently for a few years allowed me to get off all those drugs that were poisoning me. And so I share my Purium journey, my nutrition journey, because I know that it can help somebody. We are more sovereign. We have more clarity of mind when we're healthy, when we take care of our vessels. We are more in tune and in touch with our intuition, and we can make better decisions for ourselves. And so when I started eating better and living a better lifestyle, and really taking care of my body, mind, and spirit, I started to have amazing hits of intuition, knowing what my path is going to be, knowing what I need to do. My mood was better, so I could think more clearly. A lot of people still today don't believe in the importance of nutrition and gut health. Like, they don't care about the quality of their food, and they don't seem to mind about GMOs or even make the connection. And even if you tell them, they just don't buy into it. And that's to each their own, right? But it really transformed my life. Nutrition, and then energy work, like working with the subconscious, healing trauma, moving my body, releasing things somatically has been such a huge part of my healing. And I really believe that we're not being told and taught how to heal ourselves. They don't teach us this in school, and they're certainly not teaching this in university unless you're seeking it out. It's not a conversation that people generally have. And doctors are not talking to us about energy work and nutrition. And I don't know, like, I gave up on therapy because they just labeled me and gave me more drugs, just what my other doctors were doing. And so by sharing my story, I'm actually showing a path. It might not be your path, but it's a path. And it's a path that's not easily shared. And you usually have to dig. And you don't know if it works because you have no one to talk to about it, and you have no reference point, right? So I really believe the future of our healing is us healing ourselves, us healing each other by our stories, by our word, by sharing what we're going through, by showing our experience. And I feel like what's happening, I want to say happening to me with all this health stuff, is actually happening for me, and it's happening through me. It almost doesn't even feel like my own personal sacred experience. It feels like the collective experience. And so when I share, when I take you into a day at the clinic or a day in my life, I'm sharing a collective experience that on some level it's our experience, it's your experience. Maybe not directly you, maybe someone you know, or maybe a part of it, a piece of it. But I believe all of our experiences are collectively all of our experiences. And the only way that we can really heal and grow is if we share our stories. And storytelling, since the beginning of time, has been the first way that we have transferred information and healed one another, was through storytelling. So that's a little bit about why I share my very personal experience. And I'm not sharing it for pity. I'm not sharing it for, like, oh, I'm sorry you're going through that, or no. I'm sharing it because I'm asking for help, because I'm offering a path to healing. I'm giving my story to you, and also because I believe it's healing me. And the last reason alone is probably the most important. I'm sharing because it's my process for personal growth, personal development, and healing. And so if no one was paying attention, if nobody was donating or sharing my campaign, it wouldn't matter. I would still be doing it because I see that this is quite a potent process in my spiritual evolution and my personal development. And so I'm just going to continue to share my story here. And whoever wants to chime in, and however you want to interpret my experience, go ahead. It really doesn't affect my process and my growth. And we can only appreciate and discern and understand someone else's experience on the depth and level of which we've experienced life. So it really is just in the eye of the beholder how I'm interpreted anyway.